Being black in America, what that means to you from the immigrant perspective. I was asked to speak on this, so I begin. Coming to America some 28 years ago was not in my expectation. Merlene and Arisa came first. I arrived in Brooklyn, New York at my mother-in-law and sister-in-law's home, stayed for a couple of weeks to not get acclimatized to the fast pace and wide streets of the New York big city life. Soon I was packing my 3 suitcases onto the Greyhound bus as I embarked for Indianapolis, Indiana, my final destination. Little did I know that I would never see my 3 suitcases on arriving at the Greyhound bus station. They now belong to a new owner. I was left with a carry-on bag which contained just my passport and 60 US dollars. Thank God for carry-on bags, right? I would soon face a new climate of living in 4 seasons. After living for most of my life in just 2 seasons, rainy and sunny. I would also learn that the beach is now not close, within walking distance. That ocean breeze to cool the heat, but now I'll have to work in the humid summer heat. I would soon painfully learn that I suffer from heat stroke. I would get these intense headaches all day long, and when the evening sun is setting, then it would just go away. I didn't know it was a life-threatening condition. The winter, which I still like, for some reason, still like the winter, was new as it brought not only freezing rain and bitter cold, but I love the snow. Still do. Spring and fall were and still are delightful. I would also learn that no more am I living in a black majority country in which I was identified by my country of birth. Now I live in a social construct of a society that accepts and gives meaning and significance to different names of shared interaction. I would now be known as a minority among a majority, a place where names are given to remind people of their places. Isn't that true? Running the gauntlet, so this is another phase now. Running the gauntlet of the immigration service from being escorted to a room at the Miami airport and to be told to stop traveling every 6 months out of the country to not lose my visa status, then to face the crowds of all hopefully waiting to get naturalized. A goodly soul will spare me the pain of sitting for hours among the crowds by giving me a signal of no whenever I went. Then one day, much to my relief, she gave me a signal of yes. Words fail to describe the relief and excitement I felt, as many do, when you know you're not tied to that so-called chain link fence anymore or any longer. My status allowed me to go to school with a previous degree that I came from Trinidad with, and God placed a kind Jewish family in my path who provided documents in a sealed envelope to the Office of Admissions that allowed me to enter IUPUI. To this day, I don't know what was in that envelope. They told me do not open it, and I obeyed. Upon my acceptance, I had to pay twice as much for tuition as an international student, as opposed to a resident student. I got 1 year of credit from my previous degree and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Technology in 3 years. It was very difficult for me as I was offered low-paid jobs simply because it was just after 9/11, and every immigrant was seen as a threat. As a black Caribbean immigrant, it was very difficult because I'm first black before I was an immigrant. And now I'm an immigrant while being black. The playing and work fields were not level or fair for me. I stayed up late and rose up early. After acquiring an education and then like I said, getting low-paying job, I decided, with my immigrant status now changed, to start an irrigation business as a way towards economic independence. I did that knowing that sacrifice and hard work might just pay off. And so I started Affordable Sprinklers, which many of you know. And then eventually people put the trust and faith in me and decided, hey, you're doing this work so well, why not do other things? And so we decided to pool a lot of other services, and we changed our name to the Peters Group, LLC. Today, there's the Peters Foundation Incorporated, which is another vehicle created for giving back and helping young people with their educational pursuits. It was a blessing providing for my family, education of my daughters, and God has been with me all the way. My journey hasn't been an easy one, but faithfulness to God, a beautiful, devoted wife, Merlene, supportive family members along the way, and the wonderful members of Capital CDF's Church. Love you guys. Today, a successful company, the Peters Group, hiring people, foundation that gives back to the community. All I can say is to God be the glory. Great things he has done.